Hello there, Riderflex Nation. Steve Urban here with more career advice and job interviewing tips for you. And as a quick reminder, if you enjoy our podcast, please remember to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes. And on today's podcast, folks, if you got a job offer and you're in the middle of negotiations after they've made you the verbal offer, I think, that's pretty standard, right? I think there's usually some negotiation back and forth on some of the details. Once you get that conversation going and it's come to completion and you've ironed everything out, the company or the recruiting firm will send you a written offer. If there are any more changes, if there's any more details or anything else going on, you need to get that solved before you sign the offer letter. If you sign an offer letter and you give them a start date and you email a signed copy of that offer letter back and then you back out or you try to make changes, you'll probably be blacklisted from that company and that recruiting firm forever. Okay? So do yourself a favor. If there's any negotiations to be done, it's before you sign the offer letter. Now, some of you might say, well, once I put in my notice with my current employer, they came back and doubled my salary, so I had to back out. Well, here's what I advise on that with the timeline and the process. Here's what I recommend. When you receive a copy of the offer letter from the new company, that's when you go to your current company and you give notice and you tell them, hey, listen, I'm about to change jobs, okay? And then that way, if they're going to counter, you get that counter before you actually sign the offer letter and send it back to the new company that's trying to hire you, okay? So just make sure you follow that timeline. The point is this: once you sign the offer letter and you give them a start date, you should never back out of that, because at that point your reputation is blown all to hell, okay? The recruiting firm and that employer will wipe you from the database forever. And there is your tip of the day. We truly hope you find our material helpful and entertaining. And while our podcast can be heard across most platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, you can become a supporter of this podcast by visiting our show on the platform Anchor FM. That's anchor.fm/Riderflex. You can also send us your questions or suggested topics for future episodes to the email address podcast@riderflex.com. Or drop us a voicemail at 888-964-5876, extension 710. Visit riderflex.com to learn more about us. Thanks so much for listening, folks, and have a great day.